Going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everybody who support the platform. Much love, much love. Salute to everybody that's in the building. If you are here, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit that like button. Hit that like button and share today's show. Hit that like button and share today's show. We're going to get into it today. Shout out to everybody in the building. Welcome back to Sheep Stay Sleep TV. I'm your host, DS1 Ross, of course. I appreciate all the love and the support. Shout out to all of you visionaries, man. Shout out to all of you visionaries. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody in the building. Put a number 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me clearly. Put a number 1 in the chat if y'all just heard everything I said loud and clear. Shout out to everybody, man. Salute, salute, salute. Okay. I see 2 people saying they can hear me clearly. Great. Anyone else that can hear me clearly, please put a number 1 in the chat so I know that you guys can hear me clearly. Shout out to everybody once again, man. We got another great show lined up. So make sure you hit the like button and make sure you share the show. Okay, I'm being heard clearly. That's what's up. It's very much appreciated. Shout out to everybody. I'm going to give some shout outs. Make sure you hit the like button and make sure you share the show. Make sure you hit the like button and make sure you share today's show. We're going to get into it today, man. We are going to get into it. The Cash App is going across the screen at any time. You like the content, you're enjoying the show, you can donate to the show. The super chat is also open for donations. I appreciate all the love and the support. Shout out to Miss Queena in the building, always coming through and holding down the chat. I appreciate you. Salute to you. Much love to you, Queena. Shout out to my man Bob in the building. What's good, Bob? Salute. Good to see you, man. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Sutton in the building. Salute, my brother. Salute. Shout out to my man Boot Camp. What's good, Boot Camp? Shout out to Perfectly Imperfect. What's going on, Perfectly Imperfect? ES. What's going on, ES? Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody that's listening in the clouds. Make sure y'all hit the like button and make sure y'all share the show. Shalom to my brother, Spotlight B-Ball. Salute. I appreciate you tuning in, bro. Nizzo the artist. Salute. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody. Y'all see today's show. This is what happens when black men understand unity. This is what happens when black men understand unity. Now, notice that for a while now, I've been stating exactly what is wrong with black men. I've went through a multitude of things. But the number one issue, this is why y'all may hear me in some of my shows with this quote. This is why, if you're tuned in to FNP Podcast, make sure you get down in the description box. Follow FNP Podcast. The links to the podcast is in the description box. You'll always hear me say, brothers, we're our own agency. That is because the number one issue that black men are dealing with, the number one problem that we have is we lack agency. You see? That's problem number one. All the other problems are results due to problem number one. You see? This is what we don't understand. We do not understand the power and the significance of unity. We don't. You see? And with this lack of understanding, Black men as a whole are losing. This is why we're losing, fellas. As a group, Black men are losing because we don't understand unity. And when I say unity, I don't mean unity in just the sense of a collective. You see? I'm not just speaking in terms of Black men being a group and things of that nature. I'm not just speaking on that level. Follow me. Follow me. What's up, Q? Shout out to you. But what I mean by Black men don't understand the power of unity, they don't understand the significance and the power of them being in touch with who they are. See, Black men have been spiritually disconnected. This is why we are disconnected in all other areas. Black men as a collective, spiritually, we are not unified. This is where you get rugged individualism from. Rugged individualism is not just a social concept. It actually derives from renegade men. And we all know who's the original renegade. We don't even have to say it. We know. But this is what the Black man have become. The Black man has become a detriment to his own self, to his family, and to his community, because he don't understand the power of unity. He don't understand the power of him being connected to his brother. He doesn't look at another Black man or view another Black man as a brother because he doesn't view himself as one. You see? You can't see me as being your brother if you don't see yourself as being brotherly. See, this is why they say certain things. You're not going to be surrounded by good brothers if you're not a good brother. You see? You got to understand this. Brothers, Black men do not understand the power of this. And it's because initially Black men are disconnected from themselves. This is why it's called rugged individualism. Because those men are connected from the spiritual union, which is the relationship that man has with himself and with God. See, that relationship has been stripped from black men. This is why you have a bunch of black men who are quick to say, man, I'm not with that unifying shit. Because they only see themselves as the answer to everything around them. When that is a false paradigm, because everything in nature works in unison. You see, this is why black men are dealing with a lot of mental illness. We're dealing with a lot of sickness, brothers, because we are off spiritually. This is why we're off with the environment. You cannot practice a rugged individualistic life and be normal. Why? Because things in nature works in unison. But it seems like black men think that they operate outside of that. So black men are doing what? Operating outside of what? Nature. And black men are not supposed to operate outside of nature. We know what men operate outside of nature, the same ones who taught us to be rugged individuals. You see? This is what I want brothers to understand today. And I'm going to play a video by a black man. Shout out to Ken Nash. Salute, fam. But we really need to understand this, because this is the root issue. This is the root issue, the lack of unity. Not understanding unity and the power of it and the significance of it. You see? See, because if we're going to talk about black culture or getting back to our culture, then we have to unify, because that's what black culture represents. You see? That's what black culture represents. We brought that to the world. We brought the concept of unity to the world. We did that. Black people, black men and black women. We did that. We done that. We taught everybody how the world works. This is why all other groups of men understand how to do shit, but it seems like black men just are lost. Because all they did was learn from us. All these men sat at the feet of us, at the feet of black people, black men and black women. And they learned how the world worked. They learned how systems work. They learned from us. But it seemed like today, black men just forgot everything. It just seems like today, black men want to abandon what the fuck we helped create. I'm not understanding this. I'm not understanding this. We civilized the world, black people. You know how we civilized the world? By teaching people what peace was. And you know how we taught people how to access peace? By studying nature. You see? Watch how nature works in unison. There is no peace without there is no peace if there's not things working in unison. There is no peace in the house if the family's not working in unison. You see? You see? When a lot of you guys Or when a lot of y'all in the chat, when a lot of y'all go to different states that y'all never been to, if you're a city person like myself, I grew up in New York City, right? So when I first started traveling and going to different states, especially in the South, right? You know what was some of the things that I remember that I can equate to peace in the South? Crickets, lightning bugs, creeks, rivers. You see, nature, things that work in unison. Fellas, this is why we're not at peace with one another, because we're not working in unison to establish peace. You see? We got to work in unison to establish peace. It's not just a talking point. It is not just, peace is not just something you get to. Peace is something you work toward. That's not just something you're granted by anyone. No. You have to create that level of peace for yourself. This is what we have to do, brothers. This is why I say we're our own agency. This is why I say this. Because we have to understand unity, man. We have to understand the significance of it. White supremacy don't work without unity. See, we could get up here and talk about why shit is wrong for us. We can name all of the things, the causes. You know, well, this is because of this, and this is because of this, and this is because of this. But the overall solution to all of that is for Black men to unify. You see? You see? Black men understanding the significance of unity. See, for most Black men, because we operate dysfunctionally, for most of us, we think unity is us walking around following each other all goddamn day. That's why you're hearing Black men saying, man, I ain't with that unity shit, because you think somebody want to sit up under your ass all day. Nigga, please. You think I want to sit and look at you all day, nigga? I like women, bro. I like women. I don't want to sit and look at you all goddamn day. That's not unity. But that's what a lot of you Black men think. And that's what a lot of y'all say. Y'all think unity is sitting around each other, borrowing money and can't pay each other back, doing the same shit that we did on the block. That's what y'all think unity is. Y'all don't know unity is conducting business with one another, honorable business, paying homage to each other, respecting each other. You see? Being an information source for each other. You see? Being that resource. It's not always the financial resource. What about the informational resource? Brothers need the information. We don't need you to do anything for us. Black men ain't looking for handouts, and we not looking to beg each other for shit. We looking to work with each other, not work against each other. You see? But we don't know what that looks like. Because we out of compliance with nature. This is why we out of compliance of what our own nature is being men. You see? Y'all will go, and shout out to all my brothers who are military vets. Shout out to all y'all brothers. I respect and honor all of y'all. But I'm going to keep it 1,000. Y'all will go and fight in somebody else's war for someone else's army, but wouldn't fight your own war. How could you sit back and fight the wars of other men? Fight the battles. Uphold the philosophies and the doctrines of other men, but not have none for yourself. Think about this, brothers. What flag do we fight for as black men? What cause are we fighting as black men? Do black men even have a cause? For black men, not for nobody else. The white man has a cause for him and his people. The Asian man has a cause for him and his people. The Spanish man has a cause for him and his people. The Arab man has a cause for him and his people. Where's the cause for black people? Huh, black men? You know why we don't have one? Because we're not unified. That's why. That's why. This is why. We have gotten too comfortable being degenerates, acting and behaving in a degenerative manner. This is why we're so far behind. This is why we're so far behind, because we won't do the first step, which is unify. The first step is not get money. The first step is to unify. This is why black men are taking their money and using their resources to harm other black men, to continue to harm, to pillage and oppress the community, because they don't have the knowledge and the understanding of unity. See, don't tell me you have knowledge of self, but you're against unity. See, because to have knowledge of self, of oneself, is to understand the part, the power, and the part you play in the whole. You see? This is why they say, love thy brother like you love yourself. You see? Because as a man, it is your job to figure out your purpose so you can implant your purpose to help the overall purpose. That's what this is about. That's what men do. That's what we're supposed to be doing, black men. That's what all other significant black men has done. They has not talked rugged individualism, red pill, and all of this other goofy, doofy clown shit. That has never worked. The first step to this shit is unity. You cannot build without unity. Stop talking about building without unity. Okay? One person don't build the building. It takes a unified effort to build. Just go on a goddamn construction site. You'll see what I'm saying. So if you don't want to take my word for it, go outside. Go outside. Go outside and go and just go on walk. Just look at a construction site. Just look at some people building a building and tell me how rugged individualism works in life. Nothing in life works alone. Nothing. Your body doesn't even work alone. It's a system. But the black man somehow thinks that we could do this by ourselves. Every individual black man. Only we think like that. And we can look at everything around us and show and prove that that's false. That it's a lie. You see? And it's actually the lie that the so-called white man has taught us. You see? That's what he taught you. That's what he taught you. All you got to do is be the smartest, the strongest, the cleverest, and you can get whatever you want. He sold you that lie, black man. He sold you that lie. He sold you that lie. But it took a concerted effort, a concerted team effort to establish white supremacy. I hope y'all know that. Shout out to my brother, the intellectual novice. Salute, bro. Brian Randall, salute, my brother. Larry Vaughn, salute. I hope y'all know that. Oh, I hope y'all know that. It wasn't just one white man who established white supremacy. Oh, it was a team effort. They were unified in thought and in action with establishing white supremacy. But somehow the black man think we could do it another way. It don't go that way. It go this way. How? Black men, explain that to me. Explain it to me. All you do is want to sit around and listen to divisive information all day. You want to listen to arguing and bickering, and this is all you want to do. This is what you do. Y'all really don't understand what unity is. But then y'all talk about marriage. Y'all talk about families and legacy, and how is all of that established without unity? Huh? How was that? How was a family, legacy, all of these things? How were they established if they're not established on the premise of unity? When you marry a woman, y'all come together as one, a union, unity, one. Your legacy is just not established because you're a man. Your legacy is established you and your woman, you and your wife. It's not just your legacy, it's you and hers. Because she was supposed to help you. So how does these things work without unity? But I hear you black men every day get on YouTube and social media and say black women don't want to be married. But out your same mouth In the next breath, you black men turn around and speak against unity. How do you speak against unity, but you're in favor for marriage? Huh? How are y'all speaking about families and you're anti-unity? Oh, I get it. Y'all want to be together when it's time to do some bullshit. So when it's time to rally up the men to go against these women, then it's unity, right? Then it's unity. When it's man versus woman, then black men need to be unified, right? Because that's the only time I see you niggas unified around here. That's the only time I hear you niggas even talking about unity, when it's to go against black women. That's when I hear about unity. That's when I hear unity being expressed and being talked about amongst black men, when it's time to go against black women. I noticed that. But then y'all want families. But how you gonna want a family and then be against the woman you build a family with? So if you're not unified with the woman you're laying down and having children by, then what type of family are you creating, black man? What are you creating? Huh? What are you establishing as a man when you do that? Intellectual Novice says, check out the histories of both the Dutch and British East Indian companies, and you'll understand structural racism. Shout out to my brother, the Intellectual Novice. It's a fact. Structural racism is all predicated on keeping the rugged individuals out. That's why it's called structural racism. You see? Because it's systematic. It's built in a way where it keeps you out if you don't have certain morals, certain ethics, and you don't live a certain way. You see? That's how structural racism works. So if you don't share the same morals as us, you can't work here, nigga. You're not allowed to work for our companies because our companies have a track record of operating with a moral code. Some shit you niggas are against nowadays, having morals. But you know that there's morals and ethics in corporate America. You know that they operate off morals, ethics. There's something in business called business ethics. There's a certain way you have to operate, even in business, black man. You see? See, you can establish your moral code, your ethics, when you are unified. You see? And see, part of your legacy And I did a show about this. But part of your legacy is not just the work you've done and the things you've accumulated. It Part of your legacy is your character, who you were, not just what you've done, but who you were. Now, if you was a shitbird, it's going to be said he was a man who made a whole lot of money, but he was a shitbird. See, that's part of your legacy too. This is why black men don't have legacy, because we have no unity. See? This is why we can't write our own history no more. We don't write our own history as black men no more. We're not in charge of our narrative. You know why? Because we're not unified. We're not unified. If we're not unified in thought, then how could we control our narrative? How could we then teach people what to think about us? You see how this works? You see how this works? It's not rocket science. It's not what they try to make it out to be when you just think and you analyze and you pay attention. You see? See, a lot of you brothers, y'all don't understand this because you don't understand the power of unity. You see? When black men unified, black women and kids ate for free in the goddamn community. Homeless people had places to go when black men unified. Called the Black Panthers, nigga. When black men unified, prostitutes was getting off the streets. Look it up, nigga. See, when black men unify, shit changes. This is why the world is afraid of this. This is why they don't want black men to go within. They don't want black men to fix within ourselves. See? Because then you don't have that much homeless people on the corner. You ain't got a bunch of drug addicts and shit running around. Because people's hearts are being healed now. And they're getting off drugs. They stopped drinking. These are facts, nigga. Don't argue with me. Argue with history. Argue with history. That's what happens when black men unify for the right things. For the right things. Niggas put guns down and put their fists back up. You see? There's more outreach and gyms and all of that shit when niggas unify. Just look at the history. Intellectual Novice says, most dudes view legacy as story where money determines their manhood. Legacy is the moral stories, how people remember you with. Shout out to my brother, the Intellectual Novice. Shout out to you, my brother. This is how you know that this brother knows what he's talking about. Because let's go back. You know how they like to say, before there was history books, we passed down our history through what? Talking. We used to sit the youth down and tell them stories. That was our legacy. That was our history. You see? And then they made fables and folklore off of this. Y'all stop playing. Y'all stop playing, brothers. This is how they came up with this is how they made up stories, fables that had deep lessons surrounding them. Who you think came up with that? Who you think came up with that? We did. Black people, black men and black women. Those stories and those lessons were of actual people who once existed. Shout out to my brother, the intellectual novice, for laying down that heavy game. But let me get into this video, y'all. Shout out to everybody in the building. Hit the like button and share the show. If you are enjoying the show, please hit the like button. Share today's show. The Cash App is going across the screen. Let's get to this video. Awesome video. It's not going to be that long. I'm going to play the video, and then I'm going to give my commentary on it. Y'all sound off in the chat room. Make sure y'all share today's show, man.
Battle going on inside of me between my well-crafted external persona and an internal force trying to break free. It's a battle, you see.
Can y'all hear that? Put a number 1 in the chat if y'all can hear that. I want to know if y'all can hear it. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear the video? Let me know if y'all can hear the video. Okay, awesome. Awesome. I just want to know if y'all can hear it.
Between the nerd and the nigga in me. Can the nerd and the nigga coexist? They're gonna have to, nerd. But nigga, it doesn't make sense. I didn't spend 4 years in the Ivy League learning how to think, talk, and feel in order to jump into a rage every time they try and kill me. But the truth is, nerd, I always been around. When that poison ivy bullshit was beating your ass down. These strong nigga arms, they held you, told you not to feel it, gave you time enough to heal it and become a nerd again. But nigga, all you seem to feel is rage. And that will keep me out of their circles and off the front page of the New York Times and the Daily News. Not if you shoot a motherfucker. And that's my point. You are more than that cold, stony glare, those weighty Timberlands and that nappy hair. Oh, hold up now. No, nigga. That rage is like a cage that keeps love out and you in jail. Burning in nigga, thug nigga hell. Ah, shut up, nerd. You ain't heard a word I said. I gotta smack you upside your well-brushed head. Without me, there is no you. Now, wait a second, nigga. Let's talk this through. Nah, nerd, journey to the nigga in you. I've been silent long enough. I got your ass through school, gave you time enough to learn they rules. Now the time has come for you to pay your dues. Cause these little niggas in the street, they need you. But they think they can't relate cause you act all removed. When the truth is, nerd, what they are is you. Cause no matter how hard you try to deny the way you think, talk, and feel, your daddy still smoke heroin, your brother still on crack. Ghetto nightmares still haunt your dreams and your mama is still black. I ain't saying you gotta become me, but this one thing is true. Inside you is a hard-ass nigga you gotta let come through, because this assimilating bullshit will surely beat you down. And if you choke me long enough, my nerd, I will not stick around. Put the strut back in your walk. Say what you really feel. Be all of you so all of us can heal. The time for lying and denying is through. It's time, nerd, journey to the nigga in you. Then
What y'all thought about that? What did y'all think about that? I thought it was awesome. When I first saw it, I thought it was some profound shit. and it ties into today's show. Brothers, it's time for us to wake up and understand the power of unity. You see, this is why I was the first to say to the quote unquote educated lame that there is no such thing. There is no such thing as an educated lame. You see? And I told them this directly. The quote unquote ELs that was in the Black Manosphere at that time, I got on a panel when I told them we need each other. The niggas need the nerds and the nerds need the niggas. Because guess what? There's a nigga in your nerd ass. And there's a nerd in all of us niggas. And it's time for us to understand that. It's time for us to understand that. It's time for us to stop running from ourselves. When we run from each other, brother, when we kill each other, brother, when we lie and steal, rape and rob each other, brother, we're doing it to ourselves. When I do it to you, I'm doing it to me. When are we going to understand this, black men? You ain't no better than me. I'm no better than you. Because you call yourself a nerd. Because you identify as a nerd and I may identify as a pookie. But then we all found out that guess what? Even the nerds like pookie shit. Because there's a nigga in there. Just like there's a nerd in pookie, in the nigga. And if we understand this, fellas, our situation could change overnight. I already know it. We saw it in the past already. This shit will change overnight. Does that mean we will not receive opposition? No. But shit will change overnight. You see? And this is what they spend trillions of dollars in technology for. Trillions of dollars on fucked up food and all of that shit. It is so we don't understand unity. So they do everything to separate us from ourselves, black man. They fuck up your health. They fuck up your spirit. They fucked up your concept and your perception of God first. So that creates the original separation of not understanding unity. Because you work in unison with God. See, so once they've destroyed that, you have the spiritual separation, the breaking of the spiritual unity, which is what marriage is supposed to be. You see how this works, black man? You see how this works? So once they removed and messed up and tainted your perception of what God was, then it fucked up your mind. Once it fucked up your mind, then they had the fucked up food for us to eat. You see how it works? The destruction of the internal. Then once our minds and our bodies are fucked up, then we're going to fuck up our families. Then once our families are fucked up, our minds, our bodies, we don't care about God no more. All of that shit is fucked up. Now our appearance is shot. Now it's black men ain't shit. Because we worship the devil. We love the devil because he give us nothing. We love the devil. We love the devil because he tell us to hate our women. We love the devil because we've been taken away from and removed away from God. That's the spiritual separation. And brothers don't understand how that'll fuck up your mind when you fighting demons in your head. Then those demons wear on your physical health. Because now you want to eat shit just to make you feel good. Comfort food. Why do you think it's called comfort food? Because you're going through something. You're not at ease, so you need comfort. You need some ice cream. You need a donut. You know, shit that I like to eat. You know, you need some pizza. You know, we need some wings up in this joint. You know what I'm saying? We need some wings. Comfort food. So we could just be comfortable with dealing with this shit every day. And then our appearance is shot to the world. Because it's like these people don't care about their families. They don't care about their health. These men don't care about nothing. They love the devil. They just want to fucking die. And they don't even understand that what's going to save them is the shit that they've been running from. Unity. Because that's what saved our revolutionaries. Unity. That's what saved us back then. That's what saved us back then. Shout out to Akuma. What's up, Cyber Boo? What's going on, Judge J? Good to see you, girl. Shout out to my brother, the Book of Ronan. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate the super chat. He says, both the warrior and the gardener lives in us. Just looking for more self-realized numbers to unify and be unleashed. Keep cooking. Cloud watching en route to the gym and greatness. Salute, my brother. Shout out to my brother, the Book of Ronan. Make sure y'all get down in the description box and follow our podcast, FMP, Foundational Manhood Podcast. Shout out to my brother, Papa Flacco, on the check-in. Salute, my brother. Sandbox bro right there. Salute, bro. He said the whole Robeson was nerdy gangsters. Oh, man. Shout out to you, bro. That's a fact. Y'all want to know what he mean by Robeson? That was our high school. That's the high school we graduated from. We graduated from Paul Robeson High School. Facts. And it's interesting how me and my bro Papa Flocka went to school together, and my dad and his dad went to school together. Ironic, isn't it? Shout out to you, bro. But that's a fact. Shout out to Ty's Crazy-ish. Appreciate you, love. Good to see you. I ain't see you in a minute. Good to see you. Shout out to the OG Mace on the check-in. Hey, Letitia. Good to see you, sweetheart. Appreciate you. But this is what happens. Well, here's the end of the show. So now I'm going to tell y'all what are some of the things that happens when black men begin to understand unity. Let's look at history. When black men understood unity, what did we have? We had what? A better economic plan. So we had more financial resources. There was more jobs. There was less homelessness. There was less fatherlessness. Brothers, We need to help each other be better fathers. We help each other be better men. If we help each other become better men, we're helping each other become better fathers by default. You see, if I could come to you and you have the resources to help me with employment, and you understand my situation because you once were there, do you know what type of power that is? Because guess what that creates? That makes that energy contagious. Because once you give me a way to feed my family, I know a bunch of dudes who on my line who need help to feed their families. This is how it works. Unity brings down the homelessness rate, brings down the joblessness rates, brings down the fatherlessness rate. So less men are be on child support. Less men are be on child support. You see? You see? That's what unity brings. Unity brings resources to the community. Now our women could do what? Could create their own businesses. You know why? Because me and my bros are working together. And when women see men working together, guess what they start doing? They start working together. Shout out to you, Miss Letitia. I appreciate the super stick of love. That's what women start doing. When women are around civilized, organized men, you know what they start doing? Man, I ain't gonna curse her out in here. Cause I ain't trying to embarrass myself. Shit like that start happening, brothers. Shit like that start happening. You see? But we gotta create that environment. And we have to lead by example, by showing women how we conduct business with one another. You see? You see? And we not doing this for women. We doing this for the greater good of the world. Because guess what else happens when black men unify? There's a certain level of peace in the house. There's a certain level of peace within our women and within our children. You see? Tell me I'm lying. When did you ever see any of those women of our prominent black men? When you ever saw them cat fighting in a restaurant? Huh? When you ever heard of them cursing each other out? When? Talking about each other kids and shit. When you ever heard them women doing that? You never heard them doing it. You know why? Because they men was about business. That's why. That's why. They men were about changing things that were going on around them. So there was no room for that. See, there's too much room for that because black men are not focused on on the business of black people. And the first line of business is unifying. That's the first line of business. There is no peace without unity. Just like we come together to cause chaos and confusion, Just like we'll come together to ban somebody's platform, just like we'll come together to go against another guy, it could work for the greater good. Black men just don't want to apply it to nothing good. And that's the problem. You see? See, because to be anti-agency, to be anti-unity as a man shows a level of brokenness in you. You see, we're broken too. Shows a level of brokenness too. You don't trust black men enough to unify with black men. Just like she don't trust you enough to listen to you. You don't trust black men enough to become organized and to do things correctly with black men like you. You see how this works? But all of those things that I just named will be established if we establish unity. You see? The crime rates will go down. We'll have more educational support for our children. We'll have more educational things that's fitting for our children. We'll be able to call shots in different facets of our everyday life because we're unified. See, if black men are unified, then it's hard for us to be disenfranchised. See, it's easy for them to disenfranchise individuals, right? Shout out to Joe Farrow. Salute. You see? How you think black women are bursting through doors and knocking down doors through certain industries? Because they're coming in as a unified force. You can't just disenfranchise a unit. You can't say, 500 of us can't do it. We all certified. It's 500 of us. What y'all gonna do now? Y'all gonna tell us no? See, black women got hip. Black men sitting around, man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. That's what niggas is doing. Man, why I gotta do it? That's what we doing. That's what we doing, because we don't understand how it works. You see, we don't understand how it works. And it all starts from the lack of unity, the lack of agency. You see? Because, see, if you're a police officer and something happens to my son by the police, I can call my brother and have my brother see who the hell that officer was who just assaulted our child. Because that's my brother. So that's his nephew. So he gonna want to find out who did that to my nephew. And he's a cop like me. I really want to know what the fuck is his name. How many of us got cops to call that we know as our bros? How many police chiefs? How many superintendents of schools? How many people in the medical field we could call? You know who the black man call? We call Ghostbusters. We call the motherfucking Ghostbusters. That's what we call the fucking Ghostbusters. And sit there and look stupid. Shout out to everybody in the building. I appreciate y'all for tuning into today's show. Shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate y'all. Q says that's why spirituality is so important. Yes, it's a fact. Shout out to Jax. Q says the Muslims got unity, Christians got unity, Jews got unity. Facts. Facts. Shout out to everybody. I appreciate y'all for tuning into today's show. If you enjoyed today's show, the Cash App is going across the screen. I appreciate all the donations, whether it was through the Super Chat or via Cash App. I appreciate it if you have donated. Much love to y'all. Most importantly, I appreciate y'all being here. So make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I drop some new content right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to all you visionaries, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning into today's show. And we will be back here tomorrow. Same time, 2:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. I appreciate y'all once again. DS1 Ross, Sheep Stay Sleep TV. And remember, brothers, we are our own agency. We are our own agency. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.